Everything seems okay. Waiting for YouTube to catch up. Alrighty. I think everything should be okay. Yes, we are indeed live with no further problems, other than me forgetting to change the stream title from 2 weeks ago. Everything should be okay. Good evening, RB. Tonight, because I'm bored of just grinding top tier ships all the time, we are going to be printing Silver Lions with a Frank Knox. One, because the Frank Knox, together with the Gearing and Sumner, are really fun ships. And two, well, there's no harm in getting more SL. I am just gonna quickly take a screenshot to remember how much SL I had at the start. And I think I'll jump right into it. And immediately found a match. Japanese port is a good map as well for destroyers. Also, I do want to know that I do have a fan running in my room at the moment. I don't think it is audible on stream, but if you do hear it, I apologize in advance. But anyways, Frank Knox.
Bring us to general quarters.
Slide up there for the time being. Land a 5-3. Karlsruhe has a 5-3 as well, I think. So is Jeanne d'Arc is 5-0, I think. So there's a bit of an up tier. Kafkas is 5-0. Mr. Moffat.
Ocean, make condition 1.
Left standard rudder, aye aye.
Kako is a 4-7.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 120. 11,000 meters.
Left standard rudder.
Yeah, I did a little bit of a test recording beforehand and should not be audible, but if you do hear it at some point, know that I just have a fan running. That Asheville shouldn't be at this BR, so it's a bit odd to see one. And it's already dead. Oh. Okay.
Bearing. 140. 10,000 meters.
Right standard rudder.
Right standard rudder, aye aye.
There's the Groza, which is an AI Groza. But it doesn't prevent us from shooting at it. Although my frame rate is not liking, I think, the weather conditions. Enemy Moffat, I can't see it, but I see how it's oriented roughly by the antenna or the mast. Those were decent hits, a bit high. Friendly Davis is a bit in my way, but it's fine because we're just melting this Moffat. The Japanese destroyer is a bit more of a concern, as that thing will just start spamming out torpedoes.
Target identified.
I think it's about time we wrap with fire. Why is it not... Why is it turning in the Shimakaze? It'd be one thing to turn out and use his torpedoes. Oh well, easier kill for me. We do want to be conscious of the fact that there was a Shimakaze, so there might still be torpedoes in the water even if we didn't see them launch. But at this point, I don't really care, I just want to do as much damage as I'll possibly do in this spawn. Disable this enemy Noxus turrets. Start reversing to no longer have to deal with Nox because he's reversing. That was torpedoes detonating by the looks of it. I'm on fire. Why am I doing all 3 repairs at once? It's because I fat fingered. friendly Moffat out with that guy. Perfect.
On target.
Target front. Nashville.
Obstacle ahead. Collision
I
alert.
think I'm done for, really.
Contact. Barrel. 120. 2,000 meters.
That is a lot of red.
Enemy
Yeah, I'm gonna be done for, that's for sure.
Damage control. Repair.
But that's what we have backups for. I'm gonna stop the repair because if it repairs my engines, I'm even more done for. There we go, not enough crew, but maybe I can take this Nox down with me. And I think I did, yeah. And my teammate will take him down as well. And we just spawn a backup.
All hands. Abandon ship.
Do need to keep an eye on the A point. There it is. That'll be the Asheville capping it.
Target identified.
We'll swap to the HEVT because SAP is a bit overkill on Asheville. That is actually a... what is that thing called? Douglas? His missile hit the ocean because he doesn't know how to use a Douglas, and he should be dead soon, please, before he caps. And I didn't get him before it caps, but oh well.
on target. Enemies floundering.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Near miss.
I mean, yeah, there is no such thing as overkill, but I rather mean that it would overpan.
Repair party. Fuel and
Also, the enemy Nox is going to be working on my nerves, and I already know it. So the strategy now is to not repair until I'm in cover. Because I don't actually know how this Nox is oriented compared to me. And the aircraft up. I'm already very low health. That enemy Nox is going to be a very big threat to me. Aircraft isn't a threat. Nox is out of firing range, I think. And there I go.
Air target destroyed.
damage control. Repair parties confine and remove.
Yeah, that Nox over there is going to be very dangerous. So I think I'm just not going to engage him.
Load SAP.
Hello there, sample text. And it is indeed always fun to slap planes of VT. And so is turning into a 5-inch machine gun.
Keep it up and victory will be ours.
Light cruiser. Contact bearing. 140. 8,000 meters. Near miss. On
That
target.
is an AI. The AIs can still kill me.
Engines. All back.
Gathering some funds for it, yes.
Target identified. Patrol vessel.
But I also just wanted to have some fun with the gearing and summoners.
Floundering. Direct.
Because they're really, really fun destroyers.
Him down.
I kind of don't think I'll win a gunfight with that Frank Knox if it's still over there.
Attention to the designated grid square.
I do still have another spawn. Oh, you got a Kachi, you lucky bastard.
All hands. We have been critically
It's one of the few event tanks I really... Oh, Alpha, so this will fall up there. Yeah, the Kachi is one of the event tanks I really am kind of sad that I missed out on.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
But Frank Knox is not pushing from behind the island at least.
Heavy cruiser.
So if it isn't going to push, we will
140.
And what I think I'll do is I'll just do some
Ready to
torpedoes just in case to push around. And we'll leave that rear rack spare just in case.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Destroyer. Contact bearing. 040. 3,000 meters.
Don't think I can slow down in time before this fortress just blocks my shots. There it goes. I think they'll... It's a bit difficult to explain now again, but I do have... there was a submarine event past November, and I have 2 streams on that, and I think I talk a lot about submarines in that one, in those streams. And in case you don't want to look back, basically I think they're fine. They're way too slow to really be an impact upon blue water ships. And a lot of blue water vessels have decent enough armament to deal with them anyways. Especially the way they work during an event. In my opinion, they should put submarines at early destroyers to late coastal BR, so like 3-7 at most. Maybe 4-0 submarines, depending on the kind of subs. And like go from, I don't know, 2-7 to 4-0. I think we'll do fine there as long as I have a deck gun. That's a float 0? Okay, that's not of my concern then. I don't have much else to shoot at, do I? Too agile.
right. Standard rudder.
Right standard rudder.
I wouldn't. Modern submarines are a whole different beast compared to World War II ones. And they might be too potent when it comes to in-game. In terms of their sonar, their systems, their torpedo capabilities and their secondary weapons. That is if you were to model the homing torps again. But I also just didn't like their gameplay back in the event. It's not as fun as the World War II subs at least.
Spotted on radar. Torpedo bomber. Ahead. 7,000 meters. Close it.
Target identified. Torpedo
It's kind of a bad idea to go around this corner with this Frank Knox staring at it with way better
All hands. We have been critically damaged.
target identified. Destroyer.
front guns, aim for the front guns. If I can hit it at this angle, which I doubt I can. There we go. And there he goes.
Standard rudder.
Now I am right in their spawn, so if he just respawns, I'll be dead. But no, he didn't. He just left. Me. Already decent score.
Engine 2/3.
I'll try gunning this Belfast because it's quite low, and I don't think I'll make it to the cap before my allies do.
Engine all stop.
Near miss.
Oh, hello there, Tashkent. It is a player, Tashkent. Is it still gonna have spawn protection? No, it doesn't, so I can shoot it as much as I want.
Right. Standard rudder.
But it, of course, sunk me, but not before I did a lot of damage to it.
All hands. Abandon ship.
My teams will probably be able to finish it off. They are capturing C, so we should actually be getting A, but the team seems to be able to do that already.
Heavy cruiser. Ahead. 5,000 meters.
Ocean, make condition 1. Left, hard.
Seems like it's that US treaty cruise from C.
Ready as you go.
Kent has been sunk. And so has that Northampton just before he could cap. And that is game. Or it should be. There we go.
General quarters. Restock, ready storage.
And that's a good old 250,000 SL. And I guess we just keep going. Now I am running quite a few boosters. They were about to expire, so I just activated them on top of each other. But yeah, that was a 76% SL booster. And I've got a few more boosters to go. The RP boost is a bit of a waste, but oh well. Trying to think if there's any other premium ship I could use for some SL printing. But I don't think I have any as fun as the Frank Knox is. The Moffat never got nerfed. It does have a better SL modifier than Moffat. The problem with the Moffat, right, and I'll actually showcase it was Q wasn't going anywhere. So technically speaking, Frank Knox does have an above waterline magazine in the rear of the ship, but not many people know of it, and it's a bit protected by fuel tanks. Front magazine is not really a threat. The Moffat is a higher battle rating, so you're able to see 6.0s. And the rear magazine is also just as vulnerable. Sure, it has extra guns, but doesn't have the same anti-air. The turrets are also not that capable in anti-air purpose. I don't know. I much prefer the Frank Knox, and the SL modifier is a negligible difference. Whilst being at 4.7, practically similar firepower, 2 extra guns doesn't really affect it that much. I could play some matches in a Moffat. I think after this cluster of boost runs, actually. Let's play one more match in the Frank Knox and I'll play a match in the Sumner, or the Moffat. And see what that's like. And at least in my experience, yes, Naval is the best for SL printing. Then again, Naval is also my best game mode. Like 5.85, when do you start seeing tanks with that kind of modifier? Including looking at the premiums. That's 2.05. 1.95. It's 2. So you don't even... There are no tanks with a modifier like that. So 5.85 times 2, whilst tanks at the most seem to be going up to 2. And 2.05. 2.1. But yeah, that's about it for tanks. What about aircraft? 2.25, 2.35, 2.05, 3.05, 3.1. So yeah, so ships practically have double the SL modifier of planes, and practically triple that of tanks. There's also to mention that ships top out at a 6 times multiplier. Mediterranean port is a good map for destroyers as well, especially if it's a down tier. Small match, but that might change. We do want to get the front spawn, the rear one.
Free and clear to navigate.
Carlsby, so we are on up tier.
Left standard rudder, aye aye.
That is a Kent, I think that's a 5-7. There we have a another Shimkaze, a
Target identified. Patrol vessel.
Yudachi, or that other one that also has that layout. I forget what it is, or the Hatsuharus.
Target identified.
Enemy Frank Knox, enemy Moffat. The enemy County class heavy cruiser is shooting at me as well, though, and that's suboptimal.
Contact bearer. 060. 5,000 meters. Enemy hit.
Right. Hard.
That Japanese destroyer is already very low, so we'll just keep pelting it.
040.
I think I did see him launch long lances. That's a fire in the rear magazine. Please, fire crews, put it out.
Damage control. Repair parties.
Also somehow still missing the engines on this Japanese destroyer. Got a kill assist. The County shooting me is really suboptimal. And there I go. Was a Kent. Yeah, getting up tiers like this is not going to be very useful to me.
All hands. Abandon ship.
Especially when I don't have any teammates and competent destroyers with me. That's an AI.
Multiple strategic zones are captured.
There we go.
Suck. Destroy it.
Do have a Zara and a Hepper in a squad. That could be quite good.
4,000 meters.
As long as I actually hit stuff.
Make condition one.
Yeah, most destroyers do indeed not fire too well against 8-inch firepower.
Alpha victory is near.
Why is the Moffat shooting me with his machine guns? I do not know, but I'm not going to complain.
Damage control. Repair parties. Secure and pump out water.
Enemy vessel sunk.
I'm hearing torpedo impacts and that's kind of worrying. Too much lead.
On target.
There's a Furutaka out there as well, which I also don't want the attention of.
Destroy it. Contact bearer. 080. 6,000 meters.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water. Turn to emergency repair.
Let's just switch the radar on, see if there's any targets. Don't think there'll be any, but might as well check. It seems like we're in the clear. Another Frank Knox.
Light cruiser. Contact bearing 060. 7,000 meters.
Pull right over.
Right hard rudder. Aye aye.
Getting some scary ships out there.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
And I'm really hoping our Zara and Hipper will be able to pull their weight.
Load AA. Target destroyed. Load SAT. Enemy is floundering.
Target identified. Destroyer.
100. 4,000 meters.
Standard rudder. Target identified.
That's,
Destroyer.
that's Nakazuki as well. Oh boy. And there goes one of my guns. Not lose my guns. It's 3-ish seconds. I think it's 2.9 actually, but of course with me repairing it's a bit longer. It's like 2.9, 2.8.
Emergency repair. Heading as you go. Right. Standard rudder.
Most of the zones are under control.
Direct hit. Destroyer. Contact bearing 040. 3,000 meters. Target.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Contact bearing.
Kinda want to get into cover from those two destroyers. Deal with some of the AI just to farm them a bit.
All stop. Enemy is floundering.
Target identified. Destroyer.
Contact bearing 3,000 meters.
Try to sink some of these destroyers before they cap, but I don't think I'll be in time. And that is a... was it the Furutaka shooting me? I think it was the Furutaka shooting me.
Contact bearing 120. 6,000 meters.
It is the Furutaka shooting me.
Target destroyed.
Hard. Rudder.
And as stated previously, I do not like getting shot at by 8-inch guns. I think I've already lost my engines, but I'm not gonna repair now that I'm being shot at by a cruiser. 2 of them, even. I'm landing very short. There we go, some better hits. But I'm kind of curious what their own heavy cruiser is doing. If not sinking theirs. I think that's Furutaka sinking. It is. Let's hop over to the Kent, maybe.
Heavy cruiser.
There goes Furutaka. I do need still have my torpedoes, but they're way too far out there for my torpedoes to be useful.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
I think that might be the Kent sinking as well now.
Heading as you go.
There it goes. some more AIs. I'm getting hit by my friendly Udachi in the back, I believe. Yeah, I am. But there's also other stuff shooting me, including this player Trenton, which might have launched torpedoes at me now that I think about it. Also anti-aircraft gunners opening up, as well as enemy destroyers coming around the corner. Not good. And many things that are not good at the right moment. There is one ship I know of that can use a torpedo modification without it being a detriment. I'll show it to you when I'm back in the hangar, because it's one of the Italian destroyers. Okay, there's a light cruiser in here apparently. Do they have enough time to decap? I mean, the K-class light cruiser is doing what he can. I'm more curious where our heavy cruisers are doing. You have 3 Heppers and a Zara. Yet their team is just in the middle there. Akazuki is going for B, he might reach it. Akazuki is also a dangerous target to go after. There's some decent anti-air protection. Quite, what was it that actually sunk me? Was it a Köln or was it anything, something else? It's a Karlsruhe. Not sure what the anti-air in that thing is like, but I don't think it matters looking at the tickets. And it doesn't, since we're decapping C as well. And there we go. And that'll be another very nifty 250,000 SL. But more even. There's one destroyer, and I think it's Italian, Corazziere, I believe. So, with torpedo mode, 70 kilometers an hour, 10 kilometer range, without 89 and 4. So 89 kilometers an hour is a good speed. It's not the fastest speed, but it's a decent speed. 4 kilometer range is a bit mediocre. 70 kilometers an hour, on the other hand, is decent enough. I think, what's the American torpedo speed? That is without torpedo mode. Okay, it is still kind of slow compared to some other torpedoes. But I think in the case of Corazziere, the trade-off is actually worthwhile. But this is the only ship I know of where the trade-off is worthwhile. I think all the others, what torpedo is it? 275-33. It's weird because I don't think, so this one has 93.4, but then when you install torpedo mode, it's 56 and 12, which isn't worth it. It's really weird, but it seems like the Corazziere is the only one with that torpedo that has that torpedo modification. Pardon me. But yeah. It's not really a small reduction in speed, but it's a reduction to a speed that's still decent. In my own opinion, 70 kilometers an hour is like the baseline torpedo speed. Anything below 70 is bordering on not usable. Although that is just an arbitrary line I've drawn. Anyways, I was going to do a match in Moffat. Ooh, I have Phelps in that lineup as well, that might be fun. Where does Moffat fit? There it is. Because actually, if I move these two, this lineup is pretty decent. Because you've got Detroit if you want to actually use a cruiser. Moffat because Moffat, and Phelps. Phelps is a fun one, because it's also kind of a rare ship. But it also has very, very big and exposed rear magazines. Ooh, the Terror of the Sea. Well, actually, let me look at wagers. I've got a few of those as well. I think it's... which one is it? It's this one, isn't it? No? No, it isn't. But it's kind of difficult to say how to get them, because you just need to kill stuff. And kill a lot of stuff. I don't actually know what's the difference between Phelps and Nox, like, that noticeably. Nox is a bit slower, Phelps is faster, has less torpedoes. I think also, by the way, Phelps is Phelps is a porter. So yeah, Phelps is the same hull as the Moffat. Just very different armament layout, as you can see. Oh, that's weird. I don't actually know what makes it a 5.0. I do know, though, that back when in the day that Phelps came out, was Phelps is a World War mode event vehicle, so only like good players got it. So it just stomped on people back in the day. I mean, yeah, this one has 5 guns instead of 6. Yeah, I don't know why it's a 5.0 compared to Phelps, but well. Yeah, it does have the same weak spot. I think it's even more egregious on Phelps compared to the Moffat. Yeah, like the super firing magazine is actually a little bit higher on Phelps compared to Moffat. But anyways, let's play this 5.0 lineup, but let's put some planes in. Just for the sake of it. Didn't really have any good higher BR aircraft, to be honest. So I'll just use what I have. Sure, let's bring a stock B-47. Another thing that I keep forgetting to do is there's a order which will increase your SL income, and I really need to start activating those. Actually, which order is it again? Because I keep forgetting that as well. There it is. It's anti-mech, I believe. Yeah, this one. So yeah, for 5 minutes, your SL income is tripled, which is nuts. It is New Fuego, but oh well. I'm actually kind of tempted to spawn the Detroit instead, but it's also not great, is it? So let's just get the Moffat and see what we can do. Are we in a big up tier? Prinz Eugen is 5.7, that's not higher than we have been playing.
Free and clear to navigate. Engines,
Immediately turn towards the Central Island,
over.
and then I think it is just 5.7. New Orleans is 5.7. Tashkent's 4.7. That's just an AI, isn't it? Yep. That is a 6.0. That is Mikhail Kutuzov. And that is part of the reason why you don't want to do 5.0, because 6.0 cruisers are even scarier.
Light cruiser.
I'm not going to shoot just yet. I might shoot at Tashkent, because it's shooting me.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
And I hope I don't draw the attention of the cruisers. New Orleans immediately detonates our Prinz Eugen, and I think I know that guy as well. At least his name seems a bit familiar. I would like to stop overshooting the Tashkent, but I am just not that good with long-range 5-inch guns.
Right.
Okay, that Moffat is showing broadside to me. Please detonate them. There we go. That's why you don't sail broadside on when you're in a Moffat.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water.
Bridget! Repair parties restore health control!
Repair parties to station.
I think, shall we activate the order anti-mech?
Contact bearing 040, 7,000 meters!
Probably won't be able to reap the benefits from it too much, but no well.
Aye, aye! We are hit!
Pull left over.
Heavy cruiser! 6,000 meters! Bridget! Repair parties restore health control!
Steady as she goes.
That is another New Orleans,
Allied forces have captured a zone.
and that's a Frank Knox, which seemingly doesn't have object permanence, and forgot I'm here. Of course, now I'm doing to the Frank Knox what he did to me. So if he's actually a decent shot, he'll just detonate me right back. This, of course, if I give him the chance, and there we go.
Heavy cruiser! 6,000 meters!
Okay, enemy Fletcher, which is a human, but currently preoccupied.
Right, stand in rudder. Target identified.
That guy seems to have his eye on me. What happened to the... and there's the Fletcher.
6,000 meters!
Target identified.
Yeah, but the cruisers now have their eyes on me, as well as another enemy.
020, 5,000 meters!
That's gonna be my end, I think. Anti-mech works in naval, yes it does.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Critical damage! We're holed below the waterline!
Where is he going away from cover?
Bridget! Repair parties restore health control! Repair crews, critical damage!
That Moffat had cover and he's just sailing away from it for some reason. But with my shoddy aiming, I might not be able to sink him before he sinks me.
Direct hit!
There we go, but I do have some salvos still in the air.
Abandoned ship.
Ah, nothing. I think at this point I might want to spawn the Detroit and see what kind of damage I can do with it.
All hands. Abandoned ship.
So about a minute on the anti-mech order. It is very hit and miss. I was going to do this. That's why I've kind of, if I'm not within like assured range where I can hit the magazine, I'll just go for the engines on a Moffat. It's just too inconsistent otherwise.
Rudder.
Just a little more effort, and victory will surely be ours.
Steady as she goes.
Trying to hit the side of this Omaha class to get its engines, but it's already flooding, but it's not flooding quick enough. There we go. Boy, all out of here. There's an enemy Fletcher. Full health. That's Fletcher from earlier.
Light cruiser.
I can actually run for this island, and I will.
Direct hit! Engines hit! Losing power, ship is disabled!
Me being broadside onto the enemy will probably sink me even quicker, but that's this map now, so nothing much you can do about it.
Engine is hit. Losing power. Shipment disabled.
Target identified. Destroyer.
I think I just got 50k from completing the order, which is nice.
All hands. We have been critically damaged.
On target. Heavy cruiser. Left. 6,000 meters.
It might be a bit too much lead, but it's actually not that bad by the looks of it. It is a bit too much, actually.
8,000 meters.
It wasn't too much, that was perfect.
Destroyed.
Right standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Damage control. Repair parties.
I don't have any engine power at the moment, but that isn't something I can deal with at the moment.
Is close.
All hands. We have been critically damaged.
Target identified.
You know, for how little you really see those treaty-era heavy cruisers from America, I really love the look of them. They're such good-looking cruisers.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Barry. 300.
I am going to hide behind an island,
Target
and I think
heavy cruiser.
I feel like doing some float plane shenanigans.
300. 7,000 meters.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Contact Barry. 300. Direct hit. Repair crews to critical damage.
Left hard. Rudder.
Left hard rudder. Aye, aye. Holding course. Aye, aye.
I think I'm perma-flooded in my engine sections as well, which is not great.
11,000
Well, I can receive perma-flooding there.
damage. Party seal breach.
Left standard rudder. Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove.
Okay, that Moff just ate a face full of 8-inch, I think.
Seal the breach. Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Contact Barry. 320. 10,000 meters. Collision alert.
I'm going to continue backing up, and I am going to launch my float plane. Because I think we're about to lose B to those two cruisers.
Direct hit.
I mean, the Tennessee,
Critical flooding.
there is no meaningful difference in balancing-wise between 1944 and 1941 other than anti-air.
1,000 meters.
And it's no problem if it has anti-air or not.
Will be ours.
Launch spotter plane.
And another thing to note is that for Germany there's only 2 battleships left before they have all of their battleships, and that's Bismarck and H-39.
Critical flooding. Damage party seal.
There we go, enemy is capturing B as I thought they would be. I'm stopped, perfect. There's no enemies really close to sea. We've got our own cruiser about to enter sea as well.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Thing is, there's nothing preventing them from going to A either. But that's a problem for another time. It isn't. Anti-air mounts are not that detrimental to survival as you think it is. That is a thing from several years ago where it did indeed bleed a lot of crew, but it is no longer a thing. The 5-inch turrets will still do hold crew, but like Bofors mounts and 20mm mounts, they don't hold enough crew for crew bleed to really be a thing. It is just not a way battleships die anymore. Yeah, I think as well, if that list is correct, of course, I would love to see the QE with an anti-air fit. Because if it's another World War I dreadnought, it's a bit much for Britain. They've got so many of them already. Like their heaviest anti-air battleship currently is just an event battleship, so it's just... Okay, that Fletcher now has his eyes on me, and that's a problem, because if he switches to VT, I'm toast.
Just keep it up, and victory will be ours.
Is it... Yep, there it is, the VT. Which one was it actually? Chapayev.
Heavy cruiser! Back! 10,000 meters!
And there, yeah, they're going to A as well. We're not going to stop this. And again, the anti-air you're farming on the Mississippi is definitely the 5-inch guns, which do hold crew. And there's 8 of them per broadside. Is it 8? I think it's 8.
On target!
And as long as the little show crew layout button is correct, there is no crew in the 40 mils and 20 mils.
Short!
Engine, fall back.
Somebody attack him.
Heavy cruiser! Back! 11,000 meters!
That's not necessarily true. Depends on the gun firing back at the American Dreadnought. I will say 12-inch guns cannot go through those. You just can't. Not quite sure if the British 13.5-inch guns can, but 15-inch guns can go through those belts. The Germans have 15-inch battleships, they can go through them. Granted, I haven't actually tried it recently, but the American Dreadnoughts are a really rare sight nowadays. From playing the German Dreadnoughts myself, trying to finish off the tree a bit, I haven't seen an American standard in ages. What is getting a run on me? A B-34 or a PVD? PVD.
On target! Critical flooding! Damage party shield!
More for the sinking.
Air target destroyed! Light cruiser! Left! 5,000 meters!
We no longer have the advantage.
Hard.
Left car rudder! Aye aye! Enemy vessel sunk!
This being a defeat is going to be a bit of a sting a little bit in terms of SL rewards. But you might still be able to turn it around, I guess. But I need to start gunning for the sea point and ASAP.
Direct hit!
So I need to turn this boat around.
Direct hit! Critical flooding! Damage party shield breach! Enemy hit!
Engine, flank speed.
Holding course! Aye aye!
Shooting a bit high on this Sumner or whatever it is.
Left! 6,000 meters! Target on right! Short! Heavy cruiser! Ahead!
secondary guns do not kill battleships. Well, I say that, but that depends. But secondary guns are not a threat when you're in a battleship. Or they shouldn't be.
Left standard rudder.
It is. So, I don't like 7.0 either. It's just not that fun. Although I must say, with the current damage bug that the Scharnhorst suffers from, it's a lot easier to actually play 7.0.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
We are crawling back, but we really need to get to the B point ASAP. But I think an AI is. No, it was not the turtleback that got nerfed. It is not the turtleback. I don't think the turtleback got touched at all. It's a damage bug. And I'll show it later what I mean with it.
Enemy hit.
That's light cruiser is gonna cap a. I'm gonna try and decap it with a plane.
Boy airborne.
'Cause I don't think they'll be spawning anything dangerous at the moment. That guy had run all out of 3 ship spawns, I think. No, he didn't. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know what that traitor thing is about either.
Critical flooding. Damage party shield breach.
Kronstadt is not that difficult to sink. Yammer racket.
On target.
At least I've interacted with other battleships. Yeah, it might have been, but I mean... Come on, can something cap A? That AI isn't.
Enemy hit.
And as long as this Kutchezov is afloat, I cannot launch my plane either.
Enemy hit. Bridge it. Repair party restore health control.
There goes the front track, and I think there's him sinking as well, that crew loss.
Damage control.
There we go.
Parties
Perfect.
fuel and pump out water.
Enemy floundering. Repair crews critical damage.
Still don't think it's quite safe enough for me to launch the plane. But I think I'll have to.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water.
Ah, because it... Darn it.
5,000 meters. Bridge it.
Lack of crew. Lack of crew makes... So if your crew goes below 10% crew, you can no longer repair and the crew will scuttle the ship.
Critical flooding. Damage party shield breach.
And when it comes to flooding, when you see your hull segments turn black on blue water ships, that means you can no longer repair the flooding happening in those hull segments.
Bridge it. Repair party restore health control. Flooding below deck.
Which I'm currently suffering from. I should probably stop going full speed. Because, yeah, no, that's me dead. Actually, that's just one whole segment, but that is still not a list. So much I can't actually use... Nope, it's the second whole segment is also flooding now. And I can't stop that.
On target.
A bit of luck, where's at 47 can make it to B.
Bridge it. Repair party restore health control. Enemy hit.
Even if I could launch my plane, I wouldn't survive. Because it's pointing straight into the ocean. I can no longer shoot that guy either because of my listing.
7,000 meters. Critical flooding. Damage
But he is sinking.
A little more effort and victory will be yours.
And we are decapping B.
control.
But I
coordinates
think I'm
entry.
out.
Bridge it. Repair parties restore health control.
Nope. Okay, I could actually... What is this? interesting to see, but okay. The thing is, I can't turn. I can't take off. And my ship sank as well. I'm going to spawn the Phelps because there's still that guy over at A I could shoot up.
Abandon ship.
But with this being a victory, which I wasn't expecting, we'll actually get some big ol' SL rewards.
Over.
Left hard rudder. Aye, aye.
Enemy is slow.
Port. Aye,
Mission successful. Set course for base.
I mean, you're only forced to abandon the float plane after 1 minute of your ship sinking. I just switched back to my ship as it sank. And there we go, almost 500,000 SL. Yes, Sharn damage bug. Let me show you what is up. I can't actually show you in the hangar too well, but I can kind of explain it. So when you go to armor, you see the barbettes, these roll cemented 350mm things. Let me switch to external armor. They're directly connected to the turtleback, right? And they sit. Oh, that's not the right button. The barbettes sit right above the magazines. What happens currently is that it seems that the barbette armor of Scharnhorst has the same armor degradation thing as belt armor. So meaning if you hit the barbettes often enough, it'll be practically ineffective. It'll have a much reduced armor rating. I still need to find out what the actual rating for it is, but no, well, that's for another time. So the barbettes become unarmored, practically, and then you just have a straight holes to the magazine. I think I can see it with the... So let's take, for example, a Japanese 14-inch shell, because they're good shells. Let's do it at combat ranges, something like that. So you see how this splashes the magazine? If it'll do it in the preview, I don't know. So there it goes. Poof, it splashes the magazine. Even if you shoot the top of it, although I don't think it's quite as effective. Some shells will do it. Yeah, so if you shoot the middle of the barbette, it'll splash the magazine. So if you shoot it over and over and over again, you will ammo rack the Scharnhorst by just shooting its barbettes. It isn't that the turtleback got less effective, because it didn't. It's that the barbettes became less effective, and they're just straight holes to the magazine. I think, can I showcase it a bit better like this? It is very wild. I assume it's a bug. But yeah, it basically, see that? Like I'm shooting the upper belt, so above the armored belt, going into the magazine, into the barbette, and it will splash the magazine. Well, yeah, but Alaska is a bit different as well, because Alaska has a big ol' shell room in its barbettes. And those that they're placed right next to magazines, so they'll just blow up the magazines. At least I think the front one will. But Alaska's a bit of a different situation. But yeah, that's the reason why Scharnhorst detonates so often. The thing is as well, I was showcasing it with the Japanese... Oh, wrong button. I was showcasing it with the Japanese thing, the Japanese 14-inch. But when you degrade the barbette, Japanese secondary guns, the 140s, are actually able to pen it when it's degraded. So when you're playing Japanese battleships, you can really easily detonate the Scharnhorst by just degrading the barbettes and then pelting it with the 140mm sap. And I think it's had that bug for quite some time now, but I'm not entirely sure. But it's made the Scharnhorst a lot more easier to deal with. Which I'm not really all that opposed to, but no well. I think it is still a bug. Anyways, I'm going to go back to 4.7. And and continue with that. Was there something else I needed to show? Didn't think there was. Oh, there was actually something I wanted to look at. There's Mississippi, customization. Go broadside on, we go to armor. And we'll click show crew distribution. So of course that's taken from this angle. The 5-inch guns all hold crew. The 40 mils don't, 20 mils don't. At least if this little crew distribution thing is to be believed. So I can understand why you're melting this thing with HE, because you're just knocking out the 5-inch guns over and over again. So I should really... That is something I should test with just somebody in a custom battle to just shoot the 40 mils over and over again, see if it trains crew. Because I think compared to like... of course depending on which one, because not all of them have actual anti-air. Like the EC only has 2 large caliber anti-air guns. That's the wrong button again. So the only thing you'd be able to farm on EC of HE would be this gun. This... Where's the cursor? Cursor disappeared. Oh, there it is. So it'd be this gun turret. Well, these 2 over here. And that's it. There's no other anti-air mans to farm other than just this tower. And the second there's a thing you can splash of HE as well, but yeah. Now back to American 4-7. And a surprisingly quick queue for once. African Gulf is a fun map. I hope it's not a full up there again though, because I'd like to avoid those. We spawn down south because that is the best spawn point for a destroyer.
Bosun, bring us to general quarters.
Return towards the sea point. Eskimo is a good site because that's 4-3. Cordillera is 4-3. Atlantis 5-3. So it seems like a bit of an up there. Not the worst.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course, aye aye.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder, aye aye.
You know what? I'll not engage with that. I am kind of curious what he's in though. What they're in rather. Got that.
Light cruiser. Contact bearing. 300. 11,000 meters.
Bosun, make condition 1. Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 300. 11,000 meters.
Right standard rudder.
There's a summoner over there.
Aye aye. Destroyer. Contact bearing. 280.
I'll just not engage with it. Trying to argue in a War Thunder chat is not the most optimal thing. But I do kind of disagree with that Naval EC is Yanagol, because Naval EC is not a good game mode.
Pigeon, all back.
I'm going to slow down and let this Moffat overtake just so he's not in the way of my guns. And so we're not in the way of each other maneuvering either. I wouldn't say that. It looks like that, but it isn't that. There is some thought into what you're supposed to be doing. Once I saw that Alwyn, that's probably the guy that's... yeah, that is the guy that doesn't know what he's doing.
standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Allied
So I'm using this island here to cover myself from that American destroyer that is shooting at me.
Target identified. Destroyer.
Contact bearing 280. 8,000 meters.
I can't help myself.
Alert! Obstacle ahead. Collision alert!
And I'm a bit in the way of the Eskimo, but I think we'll pass each other without colliding. There we go.
Cruiser. Contact bearing 320. 8,000 meters.
Right standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Target.
I'm not gonna bully the
identified.
new guy that doesn't even have distance correction bound, so just leave it at that.
8,000 meters.
And with some American destroyers to shoot at first. But Moffat is real close, I might aim for the magazine. That is way too much lead, the Moffat is going slower than I thought it would be.
300. 7,000 meters. Alert! Obstacle ahead.
All back.
Enemy hit. Direct hit. Direct hit.
And there we go.
Right hard rudder.
Right hard rudder. Aye, aye.
Target identified. Destroyer.
Contact bearing 300. 6,000 meters.
Hmm.
Light cruiser. Contact bearing 340. 7,000 meters.
I actually recently had a new guy on console. I was playing a bit of him, and I didn't realize that you can bind distance correction, so the thing I'm doing with my mouse wheel right now, to just 2 buttons. But if you don't tone down the relative distance control, every time you press the button, you'll change your correction by 1 kilometer, which is nuts. It's also still weird that it isn't the default keybind at all, even though it's literally quite a big requirement for realistic battles.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye. Destroyer. Contact bearing 260. 3,000 meters.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Alert! Obstacle ahead.
I think actually, where is it in controls? It is, isn't it? Yeah. It is genuinely baffling that it isn't a default keybind. That it isn't bound by default. That is just nuts. Because I think it's one of the biggest traps for new players in getting into naval RB, and it just isn't bound. Because aiming like this is just suboptimal.
Destroyer. Contact bearing 300.
Also, I'm going to activate anti-mech because I have 79 of them, and I might as well earn some more SL.
Left standard.
It does. It's not something I actually look at all that much. What I do find useful though is when you look on and you see the little red dot, it actually tells you where the enemy is, which is useful for when you can't have a direct line of sight to them, or don't know exactly what you've looked onto. But other than that, I don't actually use that box too much.
Right over.
Right hard rudder. Aye, aye.
Steady
But
as she goes.
yeah, as I said, it does help with blind firing. Even like the little range thing where it says over short. That's good when blind firing. Ooh, darn it. Okay, okay. I'm shocked that I didn't detonate from that.
Damage control. Repair parties secure.
I'm also kind of curious which torpedo that was.
Victory will be ours.
My rear hull is already saturated with flooding, so I'm good. That was just surprising.
Control.
It did a lot. It did damage. It just.
And remove water.
I think what happened is it actually went through my ship, like under my rear of the ship,
Turn to
and then detonated on the other side of it. Saying that it did no damage is wrong.
full
It did damage. It just didn't do a lot because it hit the end of my ship. What are you? Is it a player SKR? Oh boy. I'm going forward, even though it might beach me, just so I don't get shot at by the destroyer on my flank. Because I have my attention on this SKR now.
repair parties to station.
The Squadron SKR is a good pickup. I will say that, it's a very good ship to pick up.
Light cruiser. Wrong side.
It is, I will say, a bit overhyped, the SKR, but it is a decent ship to pick up.
Restore help control.
I always take the increased pen, but that's also because my personal preference is always increased pen. I have the kind of what to say? Personal philosophy that if it doesn't pan, there's no point to having more filler. This might get me sunk, but at this point I don't really care if I get sunk. And that was a torpedo detonation.
On target. Repair crews to critical damage.
Hold place over.
Contact bearing 240. 4,000 meters. Bridge it. Repair parties restore help control.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water. Right. Standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye aye.
And that's a Meowin.
Enemy forces have captured the zone.
I do kind of wish we got more of the earlier American destroyers. I think there's some interesting Clemson variants out there you could still get. Look at SKR shooting his rockets from 4.5 kilometers out. Yeah, I think there's like 5-inch Clemsons and like 8-gun 4-inch Clemsons. These would be really neat ships. This SKR will sink me, but I'm going to do as much damage to it as I possibly can.
Engines all stop.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Flying below deck detected. Bridge it. Repair parties restore help control. We're all below the waterline.
Yeah, I use AP on the SKRs because I want to get the engines. There's no real reason to use HE against them. No, because the SKRs have the same damage model as destroyers. So HE will not... Well, an SKR is actually not armored enough to withstand HE, but I don't have any real reason to not use AP against them. So it was a Köln's G7 that sunk me, okay. You know what? With that comment about HE, I might actually use them again when I see an SKR again. I should try that.
Light cruiser. Contact
Also, I never actually noticed how the wager ended.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
If I got it or not.
Left standard rudder.
Using a backup for this was a bit of a waste, but oh well.
Destroy it. Contact. Barrel.
There's not much point in angling an SKR when I'm firing AP.
Mission successful.
And I'll show you why.
Course for base.
How far away was I from that SKR? 4.5 kilometers, right? Is when I started shooting at him. Another quarter of a million. But yeah, exactly as Jorg said, there is no armor to angle, so there's no point in angling. You might actually argue that going flat broadside is actually better in SKR. Let me show you. So let's go to protection analysis. Let's put the range to 4.5 kilometers. Let's go for 4 actually. We go to America. We go to like 3. Blue water. Frank Knox. We'll take the SP common. If it angles, look at how far my shell goes into the ship. Actually, not that far. Mainly thanks because to the fact it's sap, but there's nothing to armor to angle, so I just go into it. Whilst if I'm going broadside, you know what? The SKR is a bit of a bad example, but there's no real point in angling the SKR when I'm in a Frank Knox. Because no matter what, I'm going through the ship. I think if he goes completely bow in, he might actually have a better chance because of the weird fusing. But then you just shoot the turrets, you shoot the bridge, and then even it is incredibly difficult to go completely bow in and not have the slightest bit of side open, which then gets into magazines, gets into engines possibly, if you hit them at a weird enough angle. But you can't ricochet, there's no hull armor. Let's actually see what VT does. What actually is the hull armor? 16mm steel, but that is structural steel and not hull armor. I think the modifier for that is 0.45. I need to look it up again. So yeah, that's something that you might be interesting to know. Let me just look it up so I don't say wrong stuff. There is a War Thunder wiki page on all armor types and their equivalent value. So when you look at pen numbers, so if I just go to this ship and you look at the penetration is for rolled homogeneous armor. So at 100 meters, 0 degrees, this shell will pen 147mm of rolled homogeneous armor. When you look at a ship, however, like SKR, when you look at the hull armor, it says, okay, the hull is made out of steel. This steel is structural steel, which has a modifier of 0.45. Rolled homogeneous armor, or RHA, has a modifier of 1. So a steel hull is 0.45 times as effective as a RHA steel plate. So in effect, this hull is actually slightly less than 8mm thick. So when you go to, let's say, the Frank Knox again, you go look at the armor pen of its HE. It can pen 36mm of armor, meaning that no matter how you angle it, the SKR's hull will get penned by just a blast force. Yep, so when you see, even on ships like this, when you see hull steel, that is structural steel, or yeah, structural steel, so that is less than half as effective as actual armor. Anti-frag armor is 0.9 times effective as actual armor plate. So in this example, the anti-frag armor is 0.9 times 19. So that's actually 17mm of armor. Yep. And wood, let me actually check what that effectiveness is. Wood is 0.05. So if you go look at a boat, I think, is this a wooden boat? It is a wooden, so that's 38 millimeters of wood. But in actuality, that is 0.05 times 38. That is 1.9 or basically 2 millimeters of steel of actual armor. So yeah, that is something you can just look up on the on the War Thunder wiki page, and it is interesting to know. For example, rolled cemented armor, like you see on this battleship, has I think an effectiveness of 1.1. So instead of 35, that's actually 38.5 millimeters thick. It also means that this plate is actually effectively 350 something millimeters thick. The more you know. Anyways, back to 4.7. Also, I just saw the question from York. Let me quickly check if there is AP bombs in... But I don't think there is. I think it's all gun armament, which is just incredibly weird. It's just a gun armament. Which... Why is it even a thing you have to check for naval? I mean, for coastal vessels, maybe, but... I am considering it, Bill, but I really am bad at procrastination when it comes to video making. There currently isn't any... There is no armor better than rolled cemented armor for ships. I think tanks have way more armor materials. But for ships, it is just rolled cemented. Yeah, you have high hardness rolled armor for certain tanks, which is times 1.25. Yeah, for ships, it just goes to rolled cemented. Because an AP bomb is very difficult to use. The use cases for an AP bomb are just not effective enough. Also, because your question, I'm going to look again. God, I keep forgetting where it actually is. Protection analysis. It's plane. Is there an F6F in here? Is there an F6? There it is. Because I think this thing has tiny tims. Yeah, so rockets are in here. But not bombs for some reason. So why only 2... Actually no, 2 kilometers is quite a long attack range for a plane, I guess. Yeah, you can Amarak a destroyer with a tiny tim. Yep. The small conspiracy theory I have for why they added AP bombs is for carriers, like the eventual possibility of them. But yeah. Yes, there is. There is a keybind, and I use it quite often. I think... Controls... It is a common control, I believe. There it is. X-ray. I've bound it to that key because that's way closer to my left hand than O, which is all the way on the other side of the keyboard for me. Yep. Default is indeed O. And I left the Q for some reason. Darn it. But yeah, that's my own little like pet theory as to why they added AP bombs. It is interesting to have them, but their use case is really out there. I think they're actually more useful in arcade battles with in-air reloads and bomb sites on all planes. That way dive bombers can actually have a bomb site even in third person. And AP bombs work. They work decently well, but you have to be incredibly accurate with them. And there's just not many situations where you can be that accurate with them. And you need to drop them from high altitude at high speed to actually get penetration out of them. Which is just so much more difficult using just an HE bomb and slap it next to the magazine.
Posen, bring us to general quarters.
Pull up there.
Engines flank speed. Pull right over.
I don't think they do. No, AP bombs seem to be fine. There's not many volumetric things to worry about in ships because it's mostly just straight steel plates.
Condition 1.
There's no weird curving and shot traps and stuff like that. Not as much. And again, an AP bomb you basically use top down anyway, so you just go straight through the deck. Also in-game X-ray mode. But yeah, I don't think it gets messed up by a volume. The thing that messes AP bombs up is just the fact that you have to drop them from really high up to get penetration out of them.
11,000 meters.
I mean, there is an enduring confrontation mode for naval. This should probably be my next week one. Play EC again. I'm not the biggest fan of naval EC though. I mean, yeah, you can dive, but if you drop it from like 200 meters up, even in a full dive, you're not getting the penetration out of it. Again, I've tested this. I've had buddies, when they came out, I've tested the Japanese 800 kilo bomb. And ideally, you drop it from like 1.5 to 2 kilometers up just to pan through a battleship. If you drop it below 500, you're just not going to pan, even if you go in a high-speed dive. And again, they're incredibly difficult to use accurately. Especially when you have to deal with AA and a moving target, it's just next to impossible. Now, I think back when the AP bombs became a thing, I did a not too rigorous test, but I did a decently expensive test with the AP bombs and the SAP bomb. And then just, you know, use it against a destroyer, against a cruiser, against a battleship. I think I used it against a Frank Knox or a Sumner. I don't remember what the cruiser, but I think it was an American treaty cruiser or even a Helena. And then one of the American standards, I think Arizona.
6,000 meters.
Oh yeah, I mean, like AP bombs are pretty cool to use, but in game, it's just too difficult to use compared to an HE bomb. You've probably been paying more attention to the actual match. Not quite sure what a PGO2 is doing in a full up tier like this.
Target identified. Destroyer.
PGO2 was a tempting target there for a second, but I need to focus on these destroyers. And especially the one right in front of me. Range 3 off, I think? No, it is actually a tactical ship, but it's in fact it's firing 5 guns, or 3 guns from the rear. 3 off doesn't have as many main guns. There's not a player that's near. I ran myself aground. But that's not something I can't recover from. They're still capturing C, so there's something over there.
Alert! Obstacle ahead.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Destroy it. Contact bearer. 100. 2,000 meters. Enemy hit. Target. Enemy is floundering.
Gonna put my gunners on all targets, because I believe there's a coastal on the sea point.
Confine and remove water. Damage control. Repair parties seal the breach.
Heavy cruiser. Contact bearer. 040. 9,000 meters.
Target identified.
Our heavy cruisers are doing some work, and let's activate the order.
040, 10,000 meters. We are hit.
Target identified. Destroyer.
Contact bearing. 040, 10,000 meters.
Right. Standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye aye.
I'll take a wide circle around this island because I'm still afraid of a coastal vessel probably torpedoing me.
Target
There we go. That's PGO2.
Contact bearing. 040.
It was too late in noticing me, and there's an enemy porter.
all back.
And that's what you do when there's just a broadside porter in front of you.
1,000 meters.
Where's that guy? I don't know where he is. He's in front.
Star help control.
He's an AI, so it's not the biggest problem.
We're hull below the waterline. Left tar rudder. Aye aye. Enemy vessel sunk. Direct hit. Enemy ship on fire.
Target identified.
German DDs can be detonated from the rear. Let's try it.
08.
I was right.
1,000 meters.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye aye.
Somebody attack him!
We are hit.
Target identified. Destroyer.
Contact bearing. 020. 1,000 meters.
I mean, the hull is red, but the internals aren't. That's no problem.
Star help control. Target destroyed. Destroyed. Contact bearing. 020. 9,000 meters.
For a second I thought my own torpedo lead indicator was a torpedo trail. And it actually it scared me. But yeah.
Party. Station.
Well, the thing is, the anti-frag can actually be destroyed as well. Like, you can see that the actual plating has turned red, meaning that it's been damaged.
Flank B.
Direct hit.
But the anti-frag only stops HE shells,
Destroyed.
which I think the French destroyer was actually shooting at me with HE, wasn't it?
8,000 meters.
And then the porter didn't shoot me enough to really do meaningful damage.
Standard rudder. Aye aye.
Target identified. Destroyer.
Contact bearing. 020. 8,000 meters. Patrol vessel.
No, the French one was a actual French destroyer.
0. 4,000
It
meters.
was a German one I detonated later, but that was a French destroyer.
Most of the strategic zones.
Didn't remember what it was called, but it was definitely a French destroyer.
Contact bearing. 080. 3,000 meters.
Right. Standard rudder.
Right standard rudder.
It is quite sad. The fact that I still don't have any, like, really competitive battleships is just sad.
Target destroyed.
They needed Dunkirk and they needed it quick. Our cruisers are doing some work against them. Yeah, but low pen sap, you don't need a lot of pen, like I said before. You need like 20 mils of pen and that's it. 25 more of the American destroyers.
7,000 meters.
Spend a short time in their gun sight. Capturing the point is more important to me at the moment. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
We are hit.
What happened to that PGO2?
Contact bearing. 100. 4,000 meters.
I keep seeing his name for just a second before it jumps again. Bush. Still in the match. Wasn't a coastal though. Ah, there was a Chikugo I saw earlier though.
Target identified.
When I jumped in a Chikugo.
Contact bearing. 0.
Speaking of planes, those bombs went over. I think those bombs went over.
We have most of the zones.
I think those bombs went over. Lucky me.
Pull right over.
Because a F-82 carries some really scary bombs.
Star help control.
Steady as she goes. Target identified. Patrol.
Getting shot at by this AI coastal. well, troll boat. Just the AI destroyers in general. Hello there, broadside porter. Let's see if I can do the same trick to you again. Yep.
Right, standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye. Enemy flounder.
And there's a Chicago, and it is the same guy. And he got detonated by an Atlanta. Did some damage to the 335 already, apparently, and he just got pilot sniped from 5 kilometers away. That is definitely not busted. That's an Asago, isn't it? That is an LCS, and yeah, one okay. For a second I thought it would be the Japanese coastal player again. Which, spawning a Chicago in a 5-3 match is a bit of a bold move.
Enemy destroyed. Target on.
I'm gonna switch my radar on because I think we'll be seeing a lot more aircraft right about now. And now we switch to the 5-inch machine gun and do as much damage to the German destroyer as possible before getting into cover. Just gonna keep an eye out for any coastals.
Standard rudder.
And I again didn't quite catch if I won the order or not.
Flying below decks detected.
Damage control. Repair parties seal the breach.
Destroyer. Contact bearing. 100. 3,000 meters. On target.
Aha, that's why he's in a 5-7 match.
Ready as you go.
But it's game over already.
Time for sortie.
And that is almost 500,000 SL. I must be... I'm working my way over to an ace crew, that's for sure. Can't get the gunners any quicker. Not without an ace crew. Some damage control might be fun. I might have. Not that it matters much, because Frank Knox exists. But I might have. Nothing interesting now. I got that, this Vigny... Is it one? That's Italian/Hungarian tank destroyer with rockets.
Free and clear to navigate.
But other than that, I didn't get anything interesting.
Pull right over.
Takibi's on my team and an Albatross. 4.0 means it might be quite a down tier. So which Albatross is it? It's the Italian... No, it's the German one. That's 3.7. That's a full down tier. To be honest, there isn't... There's one vehicle I want from the SL boxes, and that's the Kachi, that amphibious Japanese tank. But it's not like I really mind if I'd miss out on it. I don't think there's any ships in there that I don't have. So... It's not like I need any of the ships in there. Yeah, I'm still kind of annoyed at myself. That and the HMS Tiger were two vehicles I was really annoyed at not getting. I've gotten Tiger in the meantime because it became really cheap on the market. And Kachi is now the only one thing that I miss out on. Yeah, the Kami should get his floats as well. Make it goofy looking.
Destroyer. Contact bearing. 080. 7,000.
But I'll be honest, I'm not liking my odds at getting the Kachi.
Right.
Although I have seen some of my buddies actually unbox it.
Target identified. Destroyer.
The Kachi is not in the marketplace now. If it was, I might have just snatched it up that way, instead of using the sell boxes.
Aye, aye.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
Yeah, it does. You know, I've had a couple of my friends get the Kachi and mock me with it, so I know it's out there. I know it's possible. The question is if I can get enough millions of a cell to get it.
7,000 meters.
And again, if I do miss out of it on it, it's not the greatest disaster. The thing is, I do actually not want to just throw away all my SL again, especially with an update getting nearer. I'm not using wagers now. The main reason I don't use wagers is because I really do not like playing to do a certain thing in a match. I don't like it, because it just stresses me out. Especially when you then don't complete a stage of the wager, it's just, no.
On target.
I know there are 5-unit kill wagers, but still. I don't like the thought of having, I need to get 5 kills, I need to do this. I mean, to be honest, in the Frank Knox, it's not that difficult to get 5 kills, but it's still not something I enjoy. But yeah, it is an increased thing in RB. You know what? You've convinced me. I'll activate one after this match. Actually, is Frank Knox a rank 3? That's definitely the wrong button. It is. The rest of my lineup isn't, so. Yeah, I'll activate it. But even then, like, you've seen how much I'm getting out of this, just playing this, right? I've been getting 250,000 to 500, like, 250,000 to almost 500,000 SL per match. Like, I'm not going to get that out of a wager. Also, what is that? There's a P108. And it's dead. It is almost comically easy how well, it's almost comical how easy it is to actually hit planes with 5-inch GT. Yeah, but like 100k every 3 battles is not worth it for me. Not worth the additional like brain power required to think about it. And then, as Bill kind of said as well, it's for what, 10 matches, and then you can't really play anything else unless you get the wager finished, but like you can't grind anything and just do brain dead stuff. Like I play Naval as my main thing, but at the moment with the updates being like kind of close-ish and me not really having anything I want to grind anymore, I've been putting the Naval grind on the back burner. So if I want to just switch to an air grind or a tank grind where I'm not that good to get consistently 3 kills, yes, even with ground or B, I just don't want to think about it. And then kick yourself about not having the maximum efficiency and not getting the maximum SL out of them. I don't know. I just don't use wagers that much.
Enemy destroyed. On target. We are hit.
Target identified.
SKR, a human SKR. You know what, I'll get back into cover because he's launching his rockets.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
And then just full speed out of there.
standard rudder.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my thing with majors as well. With wagers. It's too much thinking for my liking, and again, I don't need them to earn a cell.
080, 4,000 meters.
Attack the B point.
There goes the rear rack on the SKR, and I hit a torpedo! A Litchfield torpedo, good thing for him. Didn't even know where that came from. Didn't even know there was a Litchfield anywhere near to me either. Well, good for him. Kinda want to finish off that SKR though.
Destroy it. There. 140, 4,000 meters.
Ocean, make
I will say it's...
fun.
I don't really get annoyed about torpedo deaths anymore, especially when I've already gotten a kill, like decent kill streak or decent stuff done.
Near miss.
And I'm just in the middle of the battlefield. If I run into a torpedo, I run into a torpedo. The torpedo deaths I am kind of annoyed at though, is when I just spawn in and then hit a torpedo. Okay, to keep, you managed to get the order for him. Which I don't think he'll be complaining about.
Near miss. Enemy cloud.
Be a lot more wary about torpedo checking, I guess.
Full strike over.
Strike hard rudder. Aye, aye. Enemy hit.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course.
Is an SKR still afloat, is my main concern.
Destroyer.
Contact. There. 100. 6,000 meters. Target trapped.
Let's go mess with the Mitsuki a bit.
Direct hit.
Again, there's no real reason for Mitsuki. Ah, that's the 4.0 I shot earlier, wasn't it? I think it is.
Miss.
It's very right because I think there's an aircraft up.
6,000 meters. Direct hit. Enemy cloud. Alert. Obstacle ahead.
There is indeed an aircraft up.
Low AA.
And an aircraft above.
Contact there. 100. 6,000 meters.
And straight into a rock.
Standard rudder.
Interesting flight path over the SPD. There's the SKR, that's somehow still afloat.
Rudder. Target identified.
SKRs don't seem to blow up anymore. Used to be able to one-shot kill them by hitting the rear magazine, but it doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. Aircraft on radar, but it's Takibi and an FW, so it's fine. The shooting, on the other hand, is definitely not fine.
Near miss. Target. Near miss.
French destroyer seems to be messing with me, but I think the LS3 just smoked me up.
Destroyer.
Contact Barry. 040. 4,000 meters. Enemy hit.
Repair parties to station.
Target destroyed.
That was a Churchill I was shooting at, okay. I don't like that SKR on the flank, but he's not going for the cap for some reason, so... Not the biggest problem.
060, 3,000 meters.
Steady as
Is something I need to
Holding course, aye,
keep an eye on.
we are hit.
Just gonna mark him to see where he is. He's gonna be going out of there, I think.
identified. Patrol vessel.
Contact bearer. 140, 2,000 meters.
Destroy the target.
So I'm gonna start reversing so I can actually catch him.
And victory will be ours.
And dead.
Destroy. Enemies floundering.
Right hard rudder. Aye, aye.
And that is why you always keep an eye on the flank. And always just press out the lock-on button to see if you lock onto something strange. I think that French destroyer got hit by a torpedo.
Right. Stand
Enemy on
rudder.
B, which is indeed a Raubtier class destroyer, or torpedo boat as the Germans call them. But it's definitely just a destroyer. I think it's a Leopard as well, specifically, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see, can I sink it? It sailed through B for some reason. It's gonna ram the Peacock. And now I'm gonna ram an island myself.
Near miss. Direct hit.
Right hard.
Ooh. An easy target, and I'm flooding for some reason. Should check that out.
Damage control.
And it's time for the machine gun again. Sunk the Leopard. And sunk the Litchfield.
060, 1,000 meters. Enemy vessel sunk.
Now that was the guy that torpedoed me before. So I need to watch the Waterford drops, but I don't see any. Enemy aircraft on radar? Yes, there is.
Is being tracked.
Two float planes, one a PBM, the other one a HE-155. Or 115. Well,
Target identified. Torpedo bomber.
I am going to be wary of torpedoes because I don't want to get hit by those again. And that radar lead is just not right.
Left standard rudder. Rudder. Aye, aye.
And there goes VT.
Target locked on.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye. Patrol vessel. Contact bearer. 040, 6,000 meters.
Okay. If we call that a coastal vessel, 240 at 6,000 meters, which I just highly doubt.
Be destroyed.
And my AI got the 115.
Obstacle ahead. Destroy it. Contact bearing. 040, 3,000 meters. Collision alert.
But yeah, manually shooting down big old bombers out of the sky with 5-inch VT will never get old.
SAP. Enemy vessel sunk. Enemy is floundering.
There's something shooting Alwyn. And it's been Torpedoed.
0, 1,000 meters.
Okay.
Target identified. Boat.
Contact bearing. 120, 1,000 meters.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Do we have another victim? I think we do. Oh, they're getting close. We're running to the island, but that's fine. Yes, our arcade gives torpedoes a substantial speed boost. And there goes some parts of it. There go more, and it blows up. I think that detonated one of the bombs in that plane.
Hard. Rudder.
It's shooting at coastals now. And I sailed out of the cap somehow.
Patrol.
There was not less capture zone than I thought there was.
0, 3,000 meters.
But yeah, no, in arcade, torpedoes move thrice, so triple speed for the first 4 kilometers of travel, then slow down to stat card speed over the next 4 kilometers until they go their stat card speed at 8 kilometers range.
Target identified. Patrol.
They used to do triple their stat card speed their entire distance, but that made Japanese long lances really effective.
Target identified.
Especially against like convoy ships on the encounter game mode. And it is Terror DC and game over.
Job, men. Best mate.
And that's going to be another third of a million SL. You know, for American ships, like these destroyers, that staggering fire is really effective. At least to me it is. Because it is just a constant barrage of 5-inch shells. I also find it easier to adjust my fall of shot with. But I don't know, I also just find it fun. See, I think I've now made 2 million SL in roughly 2 hours. Not bad. And we will continue on. We are getting some really good destroyer maps. This was the French guy from last match. 5-0. I think he's lower BR, so it might be a 4-0, 5-0 game. Which will mean a lot of destroyers.
Bosun, bring
I need to prepare for that.
Engines. Flank speed.
Destroyer. Contact bearing. 1,
Actually, was it French guy not a 3 on 4? So that's like a 4-3.
Make condition.
Or is it a
lock.
4-7? I think it's 4-3. Trenton is 5-0, but that's, yeah. The name doesn't say anything to me, at least. Not yet.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
I think with our team being that aggressive into their destroyer force, I'll turn in aggressively as well. I can always use backups.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
Fletcher has seen something over in the coastal spawn.
Somebody attack him!
Destroy it.
Okay, what did I get hit by?
080. 4000.
An AI set me on fire from that range, did it?
Control. Repair
Okay.
parties secure and pump out water.
Ikuzuki, or more specifically Hatsuzuki. The Warsner mobile one. You don't want to be that aggressive against a team full of American destroyers. In something like an Akazuki. They can be quite aggressive destroyers for Japanese destroyers, but not that aggressive.
Turn to emergency prepared. Target identified. Patrol vessel.
And that Summers is going to turn into a friendly torps, maybe? Who knows? Again, Albatross, not a vessel you should be that aggressive if you're just sailing out in the open.
Near miss.
And I should have activated the order, but I keep forgetting. Do remember that HE buff was not an HE buff, that was an HE bug. The red bug, more specifically.
Allied forces have captured us all.
Which I also have a stream about. And I think I mentioned it during the update where it happened. The update summary video.
100. 4000 meters.
We're ahead of the enemy. Allied forces have captured us.
But yeah, there was a shell change, the fragmentation shell change. And in the same update there was a damage bug where as soon as any module got hit, it returned a state just before being destroyed, so bright red. This included hull segments, turrets, and that was a torpedo that I'm very lucky to dodge.
On target.
And technically speaking, that red bug was not something you could do with just HE. If you used AP back then, you'd have the same result.
Repair parties stationed.
Yeah, because it was just literally any damage you took immediately turned any module that got hit bright red.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Turn. Rudder.
Left on rudder. Aye, aye. Destroy it. Drop. There. 100. 2000 meters.
Still has spawn protection, but it won't last for too long. There we go. And the Mitcher's dead. Or it should be.
Enemy hit. Enemy founder.
There we go.
360.
And the assist will do.
A little more effort and victory will be ours.
Yes, but that's for tanks. That's nothing to do with naval. I don't really have too much of an opinion on it. Apparently that change is supposed to be more realistic, but a lot of people are against it because Herder, my APHE, is no longer a sphere of death. But I think it's just a tank thing. Or at least it's only really noticeable for tanks. For naval shells, it doesn't really matter. Well, I'm not too sure. But I think it's just for tanks.
Flank speed.
Direct hit.
At least the blocks seem to be only really important for tanks.
Forces have captured
I mean, again, because I'm not really that big into tanks, I don't play them that much. I've played a fair bit of them, but I don't really care about them. I think I would have liked to see the change, mainly because then you'd actually have to think about where to shoot with APHE instead of just pen and kill anything. But I guess it's too much thinking for many ground mains. Although, to be honest, making the test a poll on a forum is a bit weird in my opinion, because there's a lot of there's a lot of flaws about making a poll on a forum, because the only people that will engage with that poll are people that engage with the forum to begin with, and that is not the entire player base. That is not, you know, it might be language bias, although I don't know how many languages that poll is available in. I don't know. I think they should just have released a test event and then see what happens.
Turn to emergency repair. Damage control. Repair parties. Seal the breach.
Enemy hit. Enemy vessel sunk.
I'll launch a bit of a torpedo net into the spawn and be a real douche. But I'm about to sink anyway, so I might as well. And this should be a wide enough spread to catch that Mitcher if it doesn't maneuver.
All hands. Abandon ship.
Destroyer. Contact. Barrett. 10.
I think he'll still threaten my torps. I don't want to shoot and see the, wait until I see the results.
Pull left.
Until he's already shooting back at me.
Steady as you go.
Yep. Again. Yep. There we lost some frames. Not quite sure why, but we did lose them. Weapon Alpha is not a long-range rocket on the Mitcher.
Repair parties. Seal the breach.
And I think my torpedoes actually missed the Mitcher. Seeing as how far it got, I don't think my torpedoes were aimed that far ahead.
Direct hit.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water. Repair parties to station. Right. Standard rudder.
Activate my radar, because we're in the state of the match where we will see aircraft. It seems I was right. Lead. Well, it's a P-19A that... Oh, it does have ordnance. Okay. But he's getting ripped apart by VT. Not just mine, but my teammates as well. And there he goes.
Right. Hard.
Playing Casa Naval really isn't a good idea, is it? I've been trying to get into learning how to actually properly use airdrop torpedoes from range, but that is kind of difficult to get a hang of. I just think that would be an interesting skill to develop for CAS.
Fire. On target.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye. Destroyer. Contact barrel. 160. 8,000 meters.
Target identified.
Also, I completely forgot about the wager.
Barrel.
Is that...
140.
Nope. Can we shoot it out of the sky before the match ends? We're getting some splashes. We're getting close. Somebody's VT's got to hit him. And there he goes. That'll be another good chunk of us all. Alrighty, I was going to actually look at wagers. Destroy 5 targets, 1. Where is it? I'm just glossing over this thing. Is it this one? No. Why is this one different? No, they're different rewards. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's only a 3 battle wager, but it's 100. I mean, it is an extra 100k. But yeah, alrighty, Bill. I'll see you later. Why not? Is this just 3 kills in? Yeah, just getting 3 kills in RB. Let's see if I can pull it off. And I think after I complete that wager, it'll be heading out for tonight. Yeah, it'll be just the same amount as a 20% SL boost as well. Atlanta is very scary. The day we get a premium Atlanta, I think that'll be some real SL printing. Although the SL modifier doesn't actually increase past 5.0 for premium ships. In my opinion, Atlanta should also be a 5.7 and not a 5.3. That might be... I don't know. I think Atlanta suffers, has a bit of the same syndrome as Scharnhorst had. Is that the reason why it survives so long and it's so scary is because people just don't shoot it. Like, it should be a priority target. How much have I spent? I think it's either 12 or 15 million I've already spent, I'm not sure.
Condition 1. Lock down all watertight compartments. Engines blank speed. Right.
I think I've opened 250, 260. I don't remember. But a fair few of them, that's for sure. I think I've opened 290, so a bit shy of 15 million. A sizable amount, yeah.
160. 50,000 meters.
Mosin, make condition 1. Right, standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Sibakoni going the long way around to sea, probably.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Bolzano's 5.3, Sibakoni's 5.3. Actually, no, Bolzano? Yeah, no, Bolzano's 5.3. Krim is, I think, also 5.3 now, so... it's all light up there. I think it would be best for me to contest sea in terms of just shooting targets. But if only me going there whilst the Armada and the Spokane are going the long way around, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to contest sea on my own. By the way, I don't recommend going the long way around to sea. Because the only thing you're doing is trying to contest their spawn, And if you're going in the channels to go to sea, you're just giving yourself very awkward angles and very awkward routes. I don't recommend going around there unless you specifically want to shoot their spawn and nothing else.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Light cruiser. Contact bearing 160. 10,000 meters.
There is an enemy on B.
Right, standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
I'm very tempted to contest it. I think I will actually no, it just got shot down by a Moffat. I think the Moffat down south is going for it, so yeah.
Contact bearing.
Is it a Moffat down south that's going for it? That guy? I think so.
Collision alert.
Okay. Just a Japanese sub chaser sitting here.
Left,
As soon as I get on that point, I'll activate the order.
Aye, aye.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
Alert.
Oh, hello. Is it a... Oh, please show me your broadside.
120. 1,000 meters.
target,
If I can actually hit the magazine, please. There we go. And now I'll activate the order.
fall back.
On target.
Hold left over.
When you're in a porter or a Somers or something like that and you see an enemy ship, do not turn broadside to them all of a sudden. That'll just get you killed. Also, I did see a lock onto a PTF-7. That's a bit concerning, although luckily that thing doesn't have torpedoes. So not much point in that being a threat.
Target identified. Boat.
Contact bearing 160. 1,000 meters.
Target identified. Patrol vessel.
On target.
Target identified. Boat.
Contact bearing 160. 1,000 meters. Enemy vessel sunk. Direct hit. We are hit. Enemy destroyed.
So yeah, now the Armada and the Spokane just pop out of the side, which... why?
Repair parties to station.
Now that Spokane has a really awkward angle on their spawn, so he can't push out and he can't use all of his guns. Actually, he can,
Contact bearing
but he's just stuck there.
40. 3,000 meters.
Right, standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Yeah, the voice lines are a bit behind. That does happen sometimes during some intense stuff.
Alert. Obstacle ahead.
Heading
I'm going to go to B because for some reason the Moffat isn't. Well, what is the guy behind him? I think that's an AI. It is an AI.
200.
But why is the Moffat not going to the B point?
Alert. Obstacle ahead.
They had ample opportunity to.
left, standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
The thing is, there's destroyers right there to fight.
Engine. All back.
And we don't need the B point at the moment. So I think I'll just fight some destroyers whilst this order is still active. And if we lose, I'll blame it on me not going to the B point. This Moffat genuinely just went around the B point and is going to the spawn? What is he doing?
Target identified. Destroyer.
Probably shouldn't be looking at the map that much. Luckily this Frank Knox was softened up adequately for me, so I can just annihilate it.
Destroyer. Contact bearing 140. 1,000
Mitches are very imposing looking destroyers but their size is not helping them. Hello there, Trial.
Light cruiser. Contact ferry. 180.
Ouch.
Meters.
I think it was a cruiser shooting me.
Hit. Losing power. Ship is disabled.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove
Yeah, let's
water.
defend. I want to attack at that point.
We have been critically damaged.
And that is a Allen.
Repair.
The engines being knocked out is not helping me because it's slowing down my turn, so I just have one turret on target. And I shouldn't be turning left, I should be turning right. Never mind.
Contact ferry. 260. 2,000 meters. Enemies floundering.
Engines all back.
Repair crew.
Oh, is it a boat? There was a boat. Darn. The Moffat took my place in the order. Oh, there's a cruiser right there. Oh, that's suboptimal, to say the least.
Hold left over. Ready to.
And I didn't get many torpedoes away.
All hands. Abandon ship.
Yeah, so the cruiser was way further out.
All hands. Abandon ship. Right. Standard rudder.
Then again, there were Bolzanos at sea.
Aye, aye.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Wow, their team really didn't do well, did they? Combined total of 4 naval targets destroyed. One of them was an AI that got a kill.
Contact ferry. 140. 7,000 meters.
And the Belfast detonated at Bolzano.
Condition 1. Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Not winning that order is a bit of a bummer on the SL gains, but oh well. Belfast. How do I deal with Belfast? The best way to deal with Belfast is sit behind a rock and wait for it to push into my torpedoes. Or it gets sunk by an armada. Okay. That's how it goes, I guess. And I think this match is pretty much over.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Where is a destroyer? Over there. Can I hit it from here is the question of all these islands. Don't think I did. I assume that was a torpedo kill, because that's the guy that just sunk him with an ammo rack. Could have been a fire, but that's a long time ago. It probably was a torpedo kill.
Right standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye. Destroyer. Contact ferry. 160. 4,000 meters.
I mean, at least I did get the conditions for the wagers. The wager.
Alert! Obstacle ahead.
So that's not any loss to sell at least.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
But yeah, this game's over. There's no enemy resistance left. Don't think they have anything to compete with BNC for. I'd like to see an aircraft though. Maybe shoot that down. Yeah, I understand, but I don't like using wagers in general. Because like in this match, I just happened to have 5 kills. If I missed out on one, I missed a wager and it would really annoy me. But I really should be using those wagers more. Especially when I'm playing ships like this.
And here she
But
goes.
I also don't like being tied in for 10 battles. Because 10 battles is a surprisingly long time. And now we'll just sail towards their spawn, I guess.
Right standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye. Light cruiser. Contact them. 220. 8,000 meters.
Light cruiser over there. I'm surprised my crew saw it. I think it's sailing away as well.
Destroyer. Contact there. 180. 10,000 meters.
There's a destroyer 10 kilometers that way apparently as well, but well, doesn't matter.
We won. Time
Game
for
over.
Shore League.
But still a healthy chunk of silver lions. But the smallest silver line award for tonight. And we go again. I mean, yeah, let me look at that screenshot again that I took of how much cell I started with. But I think I started with 1.1 million tonight, and now it's 3.7. And I'll probably get north of 4 by the end of tonight. Yep, I started tonight at 1.181, so 1.2 if you really want to round it. So I already made 2.5 million. At least 30 more. Yeah. I think those travel suitcases are until what day again? Like the end of the month. So I'll just wait until then, I think, to dump the next load of vessel into them. There's no real new naval vehicles I need to purchase a vessel, but they will. We'll see. Take the forward spawn and we'll go to B. That is the plan on this map at least.
Captain has the con. Engines blank.
Well, up there.
Full left.
Oh, lovely.
Left hard rudder. Aye, aye.
And here she goes.
Holding course.
A full up there on this map is quite rough.
Contact there.
Because the cruisers can just shoot from everywhere, basically.
Rosen, make condition 1. Target identified. Destroyer.
Contact there.
Barry and a Frank Knox is quite an interesting pair.
1,000 meters.
I like Yubari as a ship, but it's not the greatest premium 4.7 to get.
Hold tight over.
You have the Mitchell plans to machine gun me. Let's machine gun him back.
Damage control. Repair parts to tune and pump out water.
Yeah, it just isn't that great. Right, please get a few more hits. It straddles at this range. Because I really don't want to lose this gunfight to this Mitcher. There he goes. I don't think I'm gonna use the order this battle, just because I can't get a reliable moment where I know I'll get a lot of hits and a lot of kills. Let's just finish with the Mitcher.
Ready as you go. Engine all back.
Now there's a Z-47 shooting me. My anti-air is shooting at a float plane, so there's not too much to be concerned about. And that should be the Z-47 sinking. That arguably was a good time to have the order up, but oh well.
Left standard rudder.
And there, the Omaha I just shot the plane from. Yeah, but the thing about anti-mech is that it triples your assault income.
Contact bearing! 320, 9,000 meters!
So it's quite an interesting one to run if you're trying to grind some SL. I'm already really low, probably a really bad time to activate the order.
Ready to.
Direct hit!
Let's just launch a spread
Contact bearing! 180,
and one short just in case.
critical footing! Status 40, seal breach! Torpedo away!
Target identified.
And there's a French cruise broker there as well, but luckily those are really fragile. Something else is shooting at me again though, I don't know what. It's a Moffat.
The enemy is winning. We must counterattack.
Abandoned ship.
Or a Davis, same thing, same difference.
All hands. Abandoned ship.
I mean, I like using ranging shot a lot. Answering the comment now a bit late. But I like using ranging shot a lot on really fast firing ships because it's just a constant stream of shells then.
Make position.
And it adds a lot more strain on the enemy's thinking. You have to constantly deal with incoming shells hitting them over and over again. Repair things. Starting, that's a torpedo to spawn, lovely. And that's the kind of torpedo kills that really, really annoys me.
All hands. Abandoned ship.
The ranging shot is controls, and it is... Where is it? This button, ranging shot. And you just hold down that button, and you'll get this crawling fire going. You can also switch it to turret ranging shot. Then when you press the ranging shot button, you'll fire the entire turret with each press.
Enemy hit.
Repair parties stationed.
Now, personally, I do prefer single fire for these guns. On the Atlanta, for example, you do want to use turret ranging shot, because if you don't, you can't use the full machine gun, so to say.
3,000 meters. Move right over. Aye,
Ready as you go.
aye. Holding course. Aye, aye. Enemy destroyed. Light cruiser. Ahead. 6,000 meters.
Yeah, it's not fast enough, so if you hold down your the ranging shot button with just single gun ranging shots on Atlanta, you will reload the first gun well before you're done firing the last gun.
Load SAT. Control vessel.
I'm really annoyed at losing that,
1,000 meters.
losing my second Frank Knox in that way.
Contact. Bearing. 300. 5,000 meters. Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
And a torpedo to the magazine is pretty much certain death anyway, so yeah.
Enemy destroyed. Enemy hit.
Pull right over.
It does seem like I'll be able to secure the bonus from the
Contact bearing. 280.
order though.
5,000 meters. Enemy hit. Near miss. Near miss. Alert. Obstacle ahead. Near miss. Direct hit. Enemy ship on fire.
Currently not doing the ranging shot because it's a bit too far out.
Near miss. Near miss.
Although with it now having put its attention to me, now we'll do the ranging shot. To put it under a bit more pressure.
Near miss. Destroyer. Ahead.
Now that is a much better target and much better range. There we go, objective complete. Well, it's not necessarily more guns. If you know what's shooting at you, you know how many guns it is. But it's more the pressure of you're constantly getting hit, so as soon as you repair, something else gets damaged, you're constantly being set on fire. Stuff like that. It is also a lot more sound being put into you, because every hit makes a hit sound, and every hit markers constantly. It's a lot more, I think at least, a lot more mental pressure, so to say. Then it's also just fun.
Heavy cruiser. 4,000 meters. Enemy is found.
Engine all back.
Bridges. Careful. More help patrol. We are hit. On target.
Target identified. Destroyer.
300 meters.
You could argue that each individual hit does actually do less damage than just a big strike. But I still really like it as a way to shoot at targets.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove weapons.
Enemy is found. Alert. Obstacle ahead. Enemy destroyed. Enemy hit.
Pull left over.
Can't steer because my bridge is out, so I'll just run into the ship.
Parties to station. Steady as
And while the wreck of that ship.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 30.
Immediately swap to the VT as soon as an aircraft spotted. and slap it out of the sky. Although that was actually a pretty good lead. A bit too high to do any splash near him. And there he goes.
Right, standard rudder.
I mean, this match might be a good example of what kind of rewards you can earn with just, you know, a tactical ship, and not a premium one. Although I did actually have a pretty good run with the Frank Knox as well in the first spawn. Krem is shooting me, that's a problem. I should at least be able to decap C. The strategy now is smokescreen and not repair. And just get the cap and then get out of dodge.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course! Aye, aye! We are hit!
Engines all stop.
Light cruiser! Back! 7,000 meters!
Quite a protection from the smokescreen apparently.
Captured, we have the advantage.
Full left over! Aye, aye!
Another zone captured, we have the advantage.
Fighter! Left!
And now we just get out of dodge.
Turn to emergency repair.
Alert! Obstacle ahead!
Radar has been... I think my radar is knocked out, or I can't... Does Sumner not have radar? The Sumner doesn't have radar. Okay.
Alert! Obstacle ahead!
Given that Krim now practically dead, why not take a piece out of it as well? Maybe get an assist out of it.
Control vessel! Ahead! 9,000 meters!
Oh, or even a target destroyed.
Right, standard rudder.
Right standard rudder! Aye, aye!
I mean, that is definitely a radar dish, but I don't have any functional radar in game on this thing. Which surprises me, but oh well.
Holding course! Aye, aye! Control vessel! Left! 8,000 meters!
Damage control. Repair parties.
It'll be
confine
game.
And remove rudder. Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder! Aye, aye!
Enemy retreating. Report to CNC. Fleet.
Still 150,000, but considerably less than I would have got for the Frank Knox. Let's see. Yeah, of that 150,000, 91 was from the Frank Knox. And what did I do in the Frank Knox? I shot in one aircraft and did well over a third of the damage. Yeah, look at that. I didn't actually see the SL earnings for the damage, but... that's just a difference, I guess. Actually, the thing about it, of course, Frank Knox is a rank... so that's a 5.85 and that's a... 2. Yeah, it's also a rank higher. But, oh well. One more match and we'll call it for tonight. And I think, whilst we're in queue, I haven't actually played Frank Knox all that much. There we go. So 19 battles total, 18 of which victories. So this should be the 20th battle. And how many battles have I played in it tonight? Yeah, that's the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now battle number 9. So practically a little under half of the battles I've played in Nox was tonight. Ooh, this map. I think I'll go here.
Free and clear to navigate.
So what I like doing on this map...
Right, hard right.
Oh, we're in a down tier though, then I'll be more aggressive. But what I like doing on this map is actually go to these islands next way. Because that'll be able to contest people trying to do that as well, and keep a good eye out on this exit, whilst being on an area people don't expect you to be. And having somewhere to escape, because going down this channel, you're a bit open from the other side of the map. But looking at this matchmaking, I'm going to be aggressive. It's a full down tier.
Chosen, make condition 1. Left standard rudder.
Left standard. Aye, aye. Okay, thanks. Near miss. Short. Near miss. Long. Near miss.
Over by quite a bit. I think he's behind cover as well now.
Miss. Near miss.
But the Albatross is not the biggest threat to me. It is quite a neat little assault pinata.
Destroyed. Contact bearing 200.
That is an AI.
Target destroyed.
There is also an AI, but I think
Right standard rudder.
there's an enemy
Aye, aye.
on the side of the map. Now we need to watch out for here.
Left standard rudder.
I need to activate that order, don't I? There we go.
Contact bearing 160.
There's an enemy destroyer in there. Couple even.
Enemy hit.
Target
I
500.
really want to engage the other side, but they're just a bit too far out there for me. Aircraft will... Excuse me. The biggest pinata I've seen. That was just...
Bearing 160.
Ah,
2,000 meters.
Heading in slow.
it's a very questionable choice to spawn one of the biggest planes in the game. When 5-inch GT is a thing.
Near miss. Near miss. Near miss. We are hit.
There are destroyers down in this channel between the two islands, and I really want to mess with them. It seems the other side wants to mess with me now. And that's going to be a problem, because I am the only destroyer of my caliber on my team, and I don't like that, because I'm not good at long-range fights. Like, at all.
Left hard.
Direct hit.
So, get to this little island for cover ASAP.
Target identified. Destroyer.
220.
destroyers.
We've captured most of the strategic zones.
Obstacle ahead! Boating destroyed!
Engine 1/3.
Direct hit!
Come on, detonate the T-22.
Enemy ship on fire! On target!
You can detonate these things, but I'm just not hitting that magazine. I'm just going around it. There we go. General destroyer. I don't see a vulnerable magazine. What is? Why is it just sitting there?
Engine, all stop.
Oh, well, just detonate it for free, I guess.
Enemy hit! Enemy is floundering!
Right, over.
The victory is near.
We have no clue what the next update is. It's just a leak list.
Heady is
The leak list shows a lot of tanks in there. Yeah, it's a leak list.
Load A.
Never show a lot of boats.
damage control. Repair parties seal the breach.
Load SAP! Destroyer! Contact Barrel! 160! 5,000 meters!
Right, standard rudder. Target identified. Mode
Contact Barrel! 140! 3,000 meters!
left, standard rudder.
Enemy hit!
V990 is of course one of the most annoying boats hit, but apparently a Stuka got it.
4,000 meters! Near miss!
It's quite impressive.
Load SAP! Enemy hit! Enemy is floundering!
Target identified. Mode
Contact Barrel!
It's an AI and a Grafton, but
3,000 meters!
AI is still a target.
destroyer.
Not gonna get the order done for myself, sadly. The enemy coastal vessel got a lot of coastal kills.
Destroyer! Contact Barrel! 160! 6,000 meters! On target!
Just keep it up, and victory will be
But my goal now is to just slowly sneak up on the enemies near sea.
140!
I'm going to switch my radar on.
Target! Direct hit! Enemy is floundering!
Enemy forces have captured the zone.
Direct hit! On target! Collision alert!
Right, standard rudder.
Destroyer!
There's my target.
60! 5,000 meters!
Target identified. Destroyer.
Contact Barrel!
Maybe deal with this close-up frenzy first.
Destroyer.
Contact Barrel! 140! 1,000 meters! Direct hit!
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
Enemy destroyed!
Target identified. Destroyer.
140! 4,000 meters!
Heady is close.
And now we just bombard this Frank Knox until it's sunk.
Enemy floundering! Enemy vessel sunk! Direct hit! We are hit! Target destroyed!
He's gonna look behind me, but it's not too threatening. There's a second Frank Knox.
140, 4,000 meters. All hands, we have retreated to target. Enemy hit.
He just decided to go guns blazing. Ends up doing a bit of over penetration, but that's fine. Not much of this game left, really.
Alert! Obstacle ahead! Direct hit! All hands! We have retreated to target! Bridges! Repair parties restore health control! Collision alert! Enemy destroyed! Repair crews to critical damage! Alert! Obstacle ahead!
Turn to emergency repair.
That's the guys just shooting at the frigate again.
160!
And I just get as much SL out of this as we can before the match ends.
Bridges! Repair parties restore health control! Target!
And that's it. A good match to end on. And well north of 4 million SL now. But yeah, does add up. And that's that in roughly 3 hours of streaming. If I don't have that wrong, yeah. Earned well over 3 million SL. So if people ever wonder how much SL you can earn in Naval, 1 million an hour apparently. Not half bad at all, yeah. Or around about 50 SL crates. But anyways, thank you all for watching as usual. Next week, I'm hoping we'll have some dev blogs by the end of next week. At least one. But next week I think I'll just play an EC match or two, depending on how fast I go. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you around next time, I guess.